My husband disappeared for a month with my best friend, then showed up at my birthday party acting like nothing happened. I burned all his stuff and now he's threatening legal action. My name is Sarah Reynolds, and if you had told me a year ago that I'd be sitting here drafting the most painful chapter of my life, I would have laughed. I was the quintessential picture of suburban success, a 32-year-old marketing director, married to Jake for 7 years, with a picture-perfect life and a meticulously maintained home in the Atlanta suburbs. Jake and I met during our graduate school years at the University of Georgia. He was studying business administration, and I was pursuing my marketing degree. Melissa entered our lives during our second year. She was Jake's classmate and eventually became my closest friend. The three of us were inseparable, forming a tight-knit group that seemed unbreakable. Our relationship dynamic was complex. Jake was charming, the kind of man who could walk into a room and immediately command attention. Tall, athletic, with a winning smile that could disarm even the most skeptical person. Melissa was vivacious, intelligent, and had this magnetic energy that drew people toward her. She worked in public relations, always immaculately dressed, with a network that seemed to span every professional and social circle in Atlanta. I was the more reserved one. Analytical, detail-oriented, the person who kept everything running smoothly. While Jake and Melissa were spontaneous and gregarious, I was the planner, the one who made sure bills were paid, schedules were maintained, and our social life ran like a well-oiled machine. We had known each other for years before Jake and I started dating. Melissa was actually the one who initially encouraged our relationship, telling me that Jake was a catch and that we would be perfect together. She orchestrated our first date, setting us up at a mutual friend's birthday party. Looking back, I realize how calculated everything seemed. Our wedding was a grand affair. Melissa was my maid of honor, standing right beside me as I said my vows. Jake's smile that day was radiant, his promises of eternal love and companionship seeming so genuine. We honeymooned in the Greek islands, a trip meticulously planned by yours truly, documenting every moment with a kind of careful curation that defined our social media presence. The first 5 years of our marriage were what most would consider ideal. We bought a beautiful home in a gated community, both of us advancing in our careers. Jake had started his own consulting firm, which was doing exceptionally well. Melissa had become a partner at her PR agency. Our friendship remained strong, with weekly dinners, annual vacations, and a bond that seemed unshakable. But marriages, I've learned, are like intricate glass sculptures. They might look solid and permanent, but they're fragile. One wrong move, one unexpected pressure, and everything shatters. The first signs something was wrong were subtle. Jake started taking more business trips. Melissa began making excuses about why she couldn't meet for our usual monthly girls' night. Their text messages became more frequent, their inside jokes more cryptic. When I'd ask about their conversations, they'd quickly change the subject. I wasn't naive. I knew something was brewing. But confrontation wasn't my style. I hoped that if I maintained my composure, whatever was happening would resolve itself. Then came the month of absolute silence. No explanation, no context, just complete radio silence from both Jake and Melissa. I was beyond worried. I filed missing person reports, contacted their families, sent countless messages. Nobody knew anything. My world became a nightmare of uncertainty. Every scenario ran through my mind. Had they been in an accident? Kidnapped? Having an affair? The not knowing was worse than any potential truth. And then, on my 32nd birthday, they showed up. Tanned, relaxed, acting as if a month-long mysterious disappearance was nothing more than a weekend getaway. The gift bags they carried, the casual way they entered my birthday party, the matching sunglasses and tropical attire, it was like a bad movie script. The cake to the face was just the beginning. Their explanation was both elaborate and ridiculous. They claimed they had been planning a surprise work-related retreat that was also meant to be a personal journey of reconnection and self-discovery. They'd gone to Hawaii, stayed at exclusive resorts, and apparently spent significant time together strategizing and exploring. The implications were clear, even if they weren't explicitly stated. My family watched in stunned silence as the truth unfolded. My mother, always the diplomat, tried to maintain composure. My father looked like he was about to have a stroke. My sister, ever the provocateur, found the entire scenario darkly hilarious. I burned Jake's belongings that night with a sense of profound catharsis. Golf clubs, rare vinyl records, expensive suits, all became fuel for a bonfire of betrayal. Each flame represented another layer of trust being incinerated. The legal threats came quickly. Jake demanded compensation for destroyed property. He painted me as an unstable, emotional wife who couldn't handle a simple misunderstanding. His lawyer began sending threatening correspondence, detailing potential civil actions for property damage. But here's the thing about betrayal: once trust is fractured, legal maneuvers mean nothing. My own lawyer, a formidable woman named Karen Rodriguez, was already building a case that would make Jake's threats look like child's play. The mysterious month-long disappearance, the suspicious timing, the clear evidence of potential infidelity, all of these would play significant roles in our impending divorce proceedings. Melissa tried reaching out multiple times after that night. Apologetic texts, tearful voicemails about our friendship and how complicated everything had become. I deleted each message without response. Some bonds, once broken, cannot be repaired. Some trust, once shattered, can never be fully reconstructed. As I sit here now, drafting this account, I realize my story isn't just about betrayal. It's about rediscovery. About understanding that sometimes, the most profound act of self-love is releasing that which no longer serves you. Jake and Melissa can have each other. I choose myself. Final update. It's been 6 months since that fateful birthday party, and my life has transformed in ways I never could have imagined. The legal and personal aftermath of Jake and Melissa's betrayal has been a journey of profound personal growth, unexpected challenges, and ultimately, unexpected liberation. The divorce proceedings were nothing short of a complex legal battle. My attorney, Karen Rodriguez, was a force of nature. She meticulously documented every aspect of Jake and Melissa's month-long disappearance, uncovering details that went far beyond a simple work retreat. Through extensive investigation and strategic legal maneuvering, we discovered that their Hawaiian vacation was more than just a spontaneous trip. Financial records revealed that Jake had been funneling company funds to cover their expenses. Melissa's PR firm had no record of any work-related travel during that period. Text messages and email correspondence painted a clear picture of a carefully planned escape, not a business trip, but a romantic getaway carefully hidden from my view. The legal consequences were significant. Jake's consulting firm faced serious scrutiny for misappropriation of company resources. The board of directors launched an internal investigation that ultimately resulted in his forced resignation. Melissa's PR agency, concerned about potential reputational damage, quietly asked her to resign. Our divorce settlement was anything but traditional. Given the evidence of financial misconduct and potential breach of fiduciary responsibilities, I was awarded substantially more than a standard no-fault divorce would typically provide. The court viewed Jake's actions as a comprehensive betrayal, not just of our marriage, but of professional ethics and trust. My personal healing became a priority. I enrolled in intensive therapy, working through the layers of betrayal and rebuilding my sense of self-worth. Dr. Elena Martinez, my therapist, helped me understand that the breakdown of my marriage was not a reflection of my personal value, but a result of Jake and Melissa's individual choices. I made significant life changes. I sold our suburban home, a space too filled with memories of betrayal, and purchased a modern loft in downtown Atlanta. The move symbolized more than just a change of address, it represented a complete personal reinvention. My new space became a sanctuary of self-discovery and personal empowerment. Professionally, I took a sabbatical and then returned to my marketing role with renewed focus. My company, recognizing the challenging personal journey I had navigated, offered me a promotion to senior director. The irony was not lost on me: while Jake's professional reputation crumbled, my own career trajectory continued to rise. Friends and family relationships underwent significant recalibration. Some mutual friends chose sides, but many were ultimately supportive. My family, particularly my sister, became my strongest support system. She helped me navigate the emotional minefield of betrayal, offering both practical support and much-needed humor during the darkest moments. Jake and Melissa's relationship, unsurprisingly, did not survive the fallout. The very dynamics that led to their betrayal of me ultimately fractured their own connection. Mutual friends shared that they struggled to rebuild trust with each other, a poetic justice that I found both healing and somewhat amusing. I've learned that healing is not linear. Some days are easier than others. The pain of betrayal doesn't simply disappear, it transforms. What was once a wound becomes a scar, a testament to survival, resilience, and the incredible capacity for personal growth. Dating was the furthest thing from my mind, but I remained open to potential connections. I focused on myself, my personal growth, and rebuilding my sense of self-worth. Unexpected friendships blossomed, and I discovered parts of myself that had been dormant during my marriage. My advice to anyone experiencing similar betrayal is simple: choose yourself. Prioritize your healing, your growth, and your personal evolution. Betrayal is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity for profound personal transformation. As I write this update, I'm sitting in my new loft, overlooking the Atlanta skyline. The view is a metaphor for my journey, expansive, full of potential, unapologetically mine. Jake and Melissa are now nothing more than a chapter in my life story, a chapter that has been firmly closed, allowing me to write an entirely new narrative. The best revenge, I've discovered, is not destruction. It's living well. It's growing. It's becoming the most authentic version of yourself. And that's exactly what I intend to do.